Today, I'm gonna finally be exposing my color grading secret and tips on how I get my footage to look cinematic. And it's gonna actually mind blow a lot of y'all because it's not as complicated as you think. I go to the primary color wheels, switch this to the log wheels instead of the basic color wheels. When I color correct, I always add in contrast first. Once you start adding contrast to your footage, you'll automatically see it start to look a little normal, because if you don't know, with flat profiles, it pretty much strips out the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows. So just keep that in mind when you color grading vlog. The biggest tip when it comes to color grading, once you start losing detail, that means you're pushing it too far. For instance, like if you look at his hair, you don't see any of the hair follicles too much in his dreads, but as I take some of the contrast out, you can see a lot more detail in it. The next thing you want to do is add saturation, because that's what's going to bring the colors back to normal. I say with vlog, always going around 65 to 70. It's like a good range. And I'm gonna just turn this on and off. Y'all can see the before, this is the after. And to be honest, like, depending on the project, this could be a final look. Look how many nodes I use. I know this is gonna mind blow y'all. One node, you know what I'm saying? I hate when people do all this scientific shit on the right over here. If you're having 20 nodes. I personally don't see the point of doing that. I really get a lot of my work done within 1 or 2 nodes at the most. And as y'all can see, it's a very simple process. The next thing I like to do with vlog is I like to reduce the highlights, because reducing the highlights gives you more dynamic range and it gives you a smoother highlight roll off. And right here, you can see the difference. A lot of people footage is overexposed, and that's why it doesn't look as cinematic. But as you start turning down the highlights, you'll get a very smooth look. This right here looks really good to me. Next thing I like to tweak is my temperature for the most part. So for me personally, I film a lot of black people. So if you're filming somebody of color who would like to make the skin tones look as natural as possible, I always tend to push toward the warmer side a little bit, because as you can see, it's complementing the skin tone. But overall, this right here is a nice look for me. So right here, this could be my stopping point if I didn't want to use any LUTs at all. But like I said, today, I'm gonna show you guys how to use LUTs the proper way. So I'm gonna go to the cold summer LUT, because I know a lot of people are probably like, cold summer, like this look really blue, right? So my first step when I add a LUT to my footage, if I don't like the color or the temperature of it, for the most part, you can tweak your white balance by messing with the temperature. So once I push this towards warm, you see how it still has a lot of the blue tint in there, but it's starting to go back warm. That's why I call it cold summer, because you can literally go from cold to summertime depending on how you push the temperature. In Davinci Resolve, I really like how you could just hit Command C and go to the next one, and then Command V, and then paste it. This is my favorite, like, Rec 709 look, as you can see. If you just want that clean Rec 709 look, to me, it's not enough separation on her, so adding some highlights could make this pop. And that's pretty much what I do. When I color grade, I focus on detail more than anything. So, and turn the contrast up a little bit to get more of a pop on her. I think the saturation is nice too, but I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because she's starting to look a little too orange. And it just really depends on what type of mood you want to create. So no matter what type of LUT you put on your footage, it's not going to sell the right emotion unless you know exactly what you're aiming for. So if I wanted this to feel sad, I would not go with this color grade. Say if, with this clip, right? If I wanted this to feel more dramatic, I wouldn't just slap the Rec 709 type of look on it. I would probably go back to my LUTs and use something like the Utah. So this right here looks happy, right? But if I want this to feel more like dark and moody, I would go with this look. You see what I'm saying? And color grading is all about creating emotion. Just always remember that. It don't matter how good the footage look. If people are not feeling the right emotion, then it's pointless. So that's a prime example of that. I like that. That's a prime example. But with this clip right here, this is definitely one of my favorite shots. I'm not gonna lie. This right here, I used the DJI LUT, and I just did some simple color correction. I had 3 nodes here, but I went for 3 different looks, trying to see which one I liked the most. I think this is only color corrected. I didn't use any LUTs to get this look right here. I'm gonna actually take the color grade off this, and we're gonna do this one from scratch again. So now that I'll show you guys how to color grade daytime footage, we're gonna jump into some of my night scenes or my darker scenes, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly how to get the cleanest look every time. So right here we got a shot of the city, and as you can see, this camera is just amazing. You know what I'm saying? At 4000 ISO as well. I'm gonna slap this LUT on it, and like I said, this could be a one and done, but for me this is a little too dark for my liking. So I'm gonna just lift the highlights up, I'm gonna lift the shadows up. because, you know, they go nighttime, it's a lot of shadows anyway. And it's crazy, man, because this is at vlog profile, so for this to look this clean at night is crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna copy and paste this onto this one, and yeah, Tennessee was just beautiful. But I'm gonna show y'all a scene that's like completely dark. Hey, you wanna sit up here? Come on. I'm gonna show y'all a scene that's completely dark and show how I would color grade that. So if I wanted to just do basic color correction on this, the first thing, like I said, is I always push up my contrast first. And to be honest, when you're in dark settings like this, for the most part, that's all you need to do is just add contrast, because it's already a lot of shadows. And if you're using any type of lights, it's going to have the right amount of highlights as well. So when you do the contrast and it brings in the darks and the lights at the same time, this is how it looks. For the most part, I would just add some saturation to add more color to her glasses. And then I pull the shadows down a little bit, because that's where the most noise is going to be at. And like I said, if the highlights is overexposed, I see her hair, this is too bright, I'll cut them down. And if I want to go for like basic look, this could work for me. But I want to tweak this and make this look more interesting. So let's find a different frame. Shout out to Millie too, man. She killed this. So I'm going to go ahead and mute this one, and I'm going to show you guys how my LUTs will look on this one right here. YouTube is what I use for this actual footage. And as y'all can see, man, it just automatically gave it a feel. I didn't have to do any extra color grading to it, because that's pretty much how I got my LUTs tailored. Some of them are meant to work on darker settings like this, because I shoot a lot of low light videos, as y'all can see on my channel. So this right here is just as is. This is just putting the LUT on it. And like I said, if y'all want to purchase these LUTs, they are down in the description. But for the most part, only thing I would probably do is lift the highlights up, because I want the glasses to pop, lift the shadows just a tad bit. And this is before, and this is after. But yeah, so for all you guys that shoot music videos or whatever, and y'all want that dramatic feel like I have, this is the LUT that I use, and this is the Utah LUT. Earlier y'all saw, and it looked like it was pretty, just completely blue, but it's because I optimized that one for low light pretty much. So like this one, I copy and pasted it, but it don't have the right feel to it like the other one did. So we're going to color correct this, and I'll just pull the highlights down. I'll probably pull my shadows down to eliminate all of that noise and put the focus on just him. As far as contrast, I can push that up a little bit, and there we go. So that's pretty much my whole trick and tips to color grading vlog. Like I said, it's very simple. Let me know down in the comments if y'all thought my process was way more complicated, because I know a lot of people be trying to fascinate y'all by doing 25 no's and shit. We're not doing that, man. We're getting straight to the point. And hopefully this video has really helped y'all out. If you have any problems, or there's still some things that you feel like I didn't make clear, let me know down in the comments, and I'll actually make a part 2. With that being said, man, I got to get back to daddy duties, because literally he's ready to get something to eat and want water. So I'll see y'all next time. If you haven't already, like I said, hit the subscribe button, turn on notification bells, and thanks for tuning in. We out. Let's go.